What's up, guys? This is Joseph and Austin over at Slice and Poke.
What's up, guys?
We're doing something a little bit different. This is gonna be a knife talk video.
Yes, sir.
We just did a live stream. If y'all did watch that, really appreciate y'all. Shout out to Fook Doozle.
Shout out Fook.
He was in the live stream the entire time. We were chatting up with him. He's the man. Definitely go support his channel. We'll leave a link below in the description, or at least his username.
Yeah, we'll leave it in the description below.
Go check him out. He's the man.
He's got a sick knife collection. Super sick.
Super sick. Lots of fixed blades, lots of buoys. But today we're just gonna be talking about knives. Really, knives we've picked up recently, knives we're thinking about picking up. Knives that we already have.
Yeah.
And right now, all we have is my collection in front of me. So
we'll probably try to do something like this again, and I'll get some of my knives in so we can go through some of them and stuff like that. But we're probably just like you guys. We have a list of knives that we wouldn't mind having in the pocket, checking out. So,
because if y'all don't know, we haven't gotten sent any of these knives. All the knives that you see on the channel, we are buying with our own personal money.
Yep, we blow all of our money.
Yeah. Whether they're $230 like my Benchmade right here, or if they're $10 like this Walmart bug out.
Yeah,
the Ozark
bug.
Trail.
Shout out to Stink Bug.
But regardless, we love knives. We love everything about knives, and we just want to share it with y'all. Recently, we have picked up some brand new Kershaws that we want to share with y'all, but
they're not Kershaws, they're Kaisers.
We have to restart it.
No, we don't have to restart.
Dude,
keep going. Keep it. We're keeping it. We're keeping it. We're keeping it.
Before we get into that, I want to say thank you to everyone who's been subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing. It means the world to us. I mix up my K's. I am actually dyslexic.
He's just Korean. That's actually it.
That's the same thing as dyslexic, if I remember correctly.
In America, it is at least.
Yeah. But, so, these are the new Kaisers.
Let me grab
this right here is the mini Militol.
Also another mini.
Another mini Militol. This one is in the party streamers, I believe it's called.
Yep.
Red G10, black Nitro V handle. Super, super nice knife. And both of these, or all three of these, are gonna have a front flipper design and that cutout. Austin, if you want to show yours real fast.
Yeah, this one is in the black G10 with the acrylic inlay on there. Just a pretty standard pocket clip. These are going to be their budget variants that they have been rolling out. And I also have a full size that I picked up.
A lot bigger.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger.
So, just for perspective, I believe that the blade is right under 3 inches, and then the full size is right about 3.5 inches. So let's get
I think it's 3.4. Either 3.4 or 3.3.
So let's hold it right there. So a good bit bigger.
Yeah.
But I will say with the mini, you can still get a full 4-finger grip on it, and if you put your middle finger right in this cutout, you can definitely have extra for your XL hands. I know I don't have XL hands, but Austin does.
I got, you'll see my hands in the shorts. I got big fat grippers. So even me, dude, this is fully choked up, and I still have a little bit on that edge that I can hold on to. So these knives they're super great.
Right about $70, right?
I think the mini ones in Nitro V are 60, and this one came in right about 70. But they have a whole bunch of different variants on them. So
and let me just say this: I'm so glad they came out with budget variants.
Yes.
Because me and Austin have been talking about the Militol for months now.
Yeah.
Since
I started getting into knives.
Yeah. Since we first saw knives, we've been talking about getting a Militol, and they have been just the most amazing knife. And they finally made a budget version, and Austin picked these up. This is actually the Thursday before they came out.
Yep.
We got these on Atlantic Knives.
Yeah,
right?
Atlantic Knives. Yeah. They dropped these a little bit early. Don't really know if they were supposed to do that.
But regardless, I am grateful.
Yeah, we got these in a little bit earlier before everybody else. But yeah,
super nice knife.
Something about this design.
And let's do a closed comparison, the mini versus the full.
Something about this design
So let's do
I've fallen in love with recently.
I mean, you can see the mini's way smaller than the full size.
But it's still not so small. The mini's not small to where it's not really practical.
Exactly.
I have some smaller knives. I've even been doing a mini series of some mini knives recently, and it's still this mini is still super usable.
I mean, a smaller knife to me, which is the Kaiser Ceramic, however you want to pronounce
Cormorant.
it.
It's Cormorant. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Cormorant.
We've had a couple waters tonight, so
this is still bigger than my new mini Militol. Yeah, definitely waters as
it's seltzer water.
Yeah, they're flavored waters. But getting on the Cormorant, I love this thing. I mean, if you don't know this specific variant, this is S35VN steel, G10 handles.
S35VN. For what? You spent $60 on it?
65.
Yeah, that's baller.
$65. That is a great budget option. And when I tell you, Austin, I have ADHD. We have ADHD. And so for a knife to keep our attention, I mean,
boom.
This thing has the back flipper. It has the front flipper. It has the cutout, right? And it also has that plunge lock design. So
is the
in all reality,
is that a boom or a doom?
This is definitely a boom.
Okay. Shout out the Costco guys that are always on my For You page. I can't get rid of you if I tried.
So this is definitely a boom. I mean, if you count the plunge lock deployment, there are 4 different ways to deploy this knife.
There's more.
And 5 if you count the thumb flick.
That Joe can't do because
and the front flipper.
It's not the knife's fault. It's totally Joe.
If I do the front flipper, I usually cut myself, so I'm scared. But so multiple knives.
How is the edge
ADHD
out of that box?
friendly?
I know you got this, but
gosh, it is so clean. In all reality, I haven't used this very much. So talk about something. I'll grab a piece of paper.
All right, yeah. We'll go ahead and get into it. If you hear anything in the background, it is just a dog that's dying. Let's get into something. We have a whole bunch of list of knives that we've been trying to check out recently. Let me go through Joe's. This is Joe's list, either through Amazon or just different affiliate links. He's got the Corgi, which I have.
Real fast on that.
Nope.
No, real fast. I added the Corgi before I bought the Cormorant, and now granted, this is almost a factory edge. I've used it for maybe some tape and some cardboard, but I mean, this is all my fault. But this thing is absolutely.
Oh, it seems like a little bit of a nick. It's either that or his coordination's so bad he can't cut through paper.
It's one of the two, but it's more than likely my coordination. This thing is an absolute dream, and for $65, S35VN.
Yep.
I think that is an absolute steal to all of y'all.
Let me just go through your list
options.
that you sent me recently, right? You have the Corgi,
Yep.
which I have.
Yep.
You have the Sakoki,
Yep.
which I have.
Austin likes to buy the knives that I want. Just
I
fair warning.
I get them before he can.
Fair enough.
The Para 2, I don't have.
Overpriced.
It's poor.
It's overpriced. In all reality, I think that knife is very overpriced.
That's 45 VN for 160.
170. But the thing is I've even heard very, very famous YouTubers like Metal Complex. Shout out him, by the way.
Shout out Metal Complex.
He is a G. He's even said in his own videos, Spyderco is overpriced.
But
And
so are most of these popular brands.
Exactly.
You're more paying for the brand with some of these, especially
Benchmade.
Benchmade. Yeah. You're paying more for the name than the material. Let's see, you have a Kaiser Kabold 2.0.
So that's a knife that I've only held off on because of the size.
It's
I think it's a
3.7 inch blade length.
I thought it was 3.4.
3.7. It's 3.66.
Yeah, that's a big knife. That's a really big knife.
Kaiser Feist.
It does come in 154 for only $44 right now.
Nuts.
So great deal on materials to price range, but just a big knife and something too big for my personal use.
You got the Kaiser Task on here, which they just came out with new variants that are like $60.
Hold up, I want to go back on that. The Kaiser Feist.
Oh yeah, $84 S35 VN.
And you're missing out on the point. That's titanium handles.
Yeah. That's pretty baller.
That's black titanium handles, S35VN for only $85. That's a great deal. The real steel velour, that's another super crazy deal in my opinion. Nice EDC size knife. That's the purple handle micarta. Micarta handle, Nitro V steel.
The one thing that's been keeping me away from real steel is they've kind of taken a Civivi-esque approach
and overpricing their knives.
No, they seem to only have one deployment method. I mean, I get having a rear flipper, that's great, but is it too much to ask for a set of thumb studs?
Or maybe a cutout.
A set of thumb studs can make a knife so much more enjoyable for me.
Theoretically, wouldn't a cutout make a knife cheaper because it's less material?
But you also have
to... but that's more technology to cut the cutout.
Yeah.
I understand that.
But...
that's fair.
Somebody that does multiple deployment methods well and for cheap. This is
CJRB.
Now this one's was on sale when he got it, but this one's been pretty popular. Is the CJRB Echo.
So if you're gonna pick up the CJRB Echo, I highly recommend you get the button lock version.
Oh, they have a button lock?
They do. They
Wow.
do. So this right here is the CJRB Echo in the liner lock. And granted, it's a very nice liner lock, but they have a button lock version, which is only about $10 more. So I think for $10 more, definitely worth your money. This one right here comes in a cutout right there, as y'all can see, and a front flipper. And the front flipper and the cutout both work as intended. Super, super nice, super snappy. But the retail on this thing is 80 smackaroos.
That's big bucks. Especially for... I'm not going to call RPM 9 bad, because it's not.
It's not bad, but I think for $80...
I'd rather get 154 CM
154, Nitro V even.
Yeah. 14C.
I mean...
I'd rather have 14C. I haven't been too impressed with it. Now, the corrosion resistance has been fine. We're down here in Florida. We're either... If I'm not waist deep in salt water, I'm waist deep in fresh water in a creek.
Yeah.
And I carry the Artisan Cutlery Sea Snake around my neck when I go fishing. Mm-hmm. And half the time I'm in the water, even wading through these creeks. Florida Creek can go from ankle deep to neck high after 2 steps. So it's held off great. I make sure to wipe it off real quick after I get off the water, and it's been fine, and it's held an edge good enough for me to go fishing with it.
It holds a good enough edge to go fishing. Now, granted, the only fishing you're doing is cutting the line.
I'm cutting some line. That's
exactly.
It.
So for me,
I might dispatch a fish. We went to go catch some bluegill, and I dispatched like 4 or 5 bluegill with it.
I'm a mechanic at Toyota, and I had to cut through a felt fender liner. I just almost dropped that.
That is a felt fender liner is tough.
That is tough.
Super tough. I don't remember if you remember. We were back in the woods one day. We were with the trucks, and we were trying to cut through
Eddie's fender liner.
Yeah. And
no, it's definitely a tough material, and I will say, compared. So
I don't think it's a pocket knife.
I wouldn't say it is, but I'm going to compare it to D2. So at the time, I had this on me. This is the Viper Cobra Tech Wolverine. This is in D2 steel. We use this to cut through it like nothing. Granted, after that, the edge is like nothing. But that felt fender liner, I use this CJRB Echo to cut through it. And afterwards, the edge, again, was almost like nothing. I did use this... Oopsies. I did use this Work Sharp 5-sided sharpener. The 5th side is the serrated side. And it cut through it just fine. It cut through it just fine. I do think RPM 9 is going to be right in between the budget of D2 and 14C.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect place for it, but I also think
I really do.
CJRB has kind of, the way they made their claims about RPM 9, they kind of made it sound better than what it is. And I'm okay with, shout out Abby, shout out Jackson, but I think its place is in the $40 to $60,
high
$65.
65. Yeah, I was gonna say high 65. Range. Definitely not $70 range.
Now here's my thing. CJRB could go into this price range of, I think there's $65 to $85 knives, which is kind of,
if they use different materials for the blade though.
Yeah, 154 cm. I'd pay for it.
Oh my gosh, I think that. So this is a Ray Laconico design, just like your Sakoki.
Yep.
And
he's about to come out with a new knife with Vosteed. Let me
really?
While you talk about that, let me look into it.
So if y'all haven't seen the video on this, I did a review on this after carrying it for about a week, and let me just say, I love it. The reverse flick and the thumb flick works super well. Even that front flipper, it is so snappy. The cutout is perfect for the knife, and even the blade shape itself, it's perfect for that everyday use. But what I will say is that RPM 9 is just, I wish it had higher edge retention. And maybe it's because I used it for a day that I cut a felt fender liner. But if they had 154 or S35 VN, it'd be perfect. Granted, the design itself is absolutely amazing. It is so slim compared to the Sakoki. Where's the camera? Compared to the Sakoki, you almost forget it's in your pocket. And speaking of in the pocket, this pocket clip is so deep, you really do forget. And that's why I would recommend this knife for anyone, as long as you can find it on sale for about $50 or under. But Austin has a new knife he wants to talk about.
Before we jump into another Ray Laconico design, if I'm even saying that right.
Ray Laconico? Yeah.
It looks like it. I don't know.
Is it not Ray Laconico?
Here is a knife that I've been looking at, and this is a... Dude, this thing's baller. It's CJRB.
Okay.
It is the Pyrite Bowie in S90V.
$90.
S90V. It's the button lock. It has the Bowie shaped blade.
And that's on Blade HQ.
Yep.
Right?
It's a Blade HQ exclusive.
So shout out to them.
Yep, shout out them. They're baller.
It's an all black version.
S90V, all black button lock. Yep.
Oh, dude.
And it's $90.
So that's a great deal.
S90V is something that I haven't been seeing from a lot of manufacturers, but that is still a premium steel. That is above your 154. That is above your S35 VN. That's a baller steel for $90.
Even the S45?
I think they're kind of on the same page. They're kind of in that same tier almost. But for $90 though, I think it's a no-brainer. I think it's one of those knives that it's such
What's
a bang.
What's the handle material though?
I think it's aluminum. I think it is aluminum. Let's see. But yeah, I think it's one of those. I am all about bang for your buck. So when I see something... Oh, it is a steel handle?
So handle is steel. Button lock.
So that'll definitely have some help. I'm all about the best bang for your buck, and that is one thing Joe can attest to. No matter what I'm doing, what I'm interested in, I'm always looking for the absolute best for the absolute least. No, we are not looking. Okay. Anyways, it's one that I want to bring to the channel. And I've been thinking about it, and I've been holding off. And
Tell Austin in the comments to buy that knife, because in all reality, I want to see what that knife like. Don't let Austin know.
Yeah.
But I
Joe's
see
always wanting to steal my knives because I get the cool knives.
That's not true. I spend more money.
He spends more money, but he spends $200 on D2.
This was $160, not $200. Hey,
but
this
Joe
knife's getting
wants
20 minutes long. No, that is you liar. You little liar. Alright guys. Well, that is gonna wrap it up for today's video.
Why are we wrapping it up?
This was just a knife talk video. Thank you all to clicking on it, watching, subscribing.
Ray Laconico's knife before we close it out.
Oh, fine.
Actually, we'll talk about it in the next video.
Okay.
We'll talk about it in the next
We'll see you guys
one.
in the next one.
I'm over at Joe's house.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. It means the world to us. We will see y'all in the next one. Adios.
Love you guys.